Hello and welcome to Kuden, Knife You Don't Need, a division of Wooden, What You Don't Need.
And this is one of the watches that I like, that I don't need. It's too illegible.
Have a look at the review of this watch if you want. And today we are going to talk about small knives, but not these two small knives. We will talk about these two later. Just drop me a comment if you're interested in them. No, we are going to talk about what's inside this box.
Let's have a look at the box first.
It says Maserin, and then it says something else in Italian. Coltellerie sportive in Maniago dal 1960, which means sports knives or sports knife makers in Maniago, which is a town that I can tell you everything I know about if you just drop me a comment in the comment section. Dal 1960 means since 1960. It also says something about the knife that it's inside. It says the code number here, and it says /EB, which stands for Ebony. Why? Well, because this knife that's called Dolphin, the model is Dolphin, as an ebony handle. Let's have a look inside. See how ill I am. I don't throw away boxes, and I don't even throw away the nylon bags which are inside the boxes. And this is our knife. Have a look at it closed. I hope the collar here is visible. If I'm not mistaken, this is a titanium clip, and I don't know if it shows on camera, but it kind of changes color as you turn it. It goes from a dark blue to it's a blue only, that with some yellow nuances to it. It's a one-hand open knife. It has your stud here. Here you can see the model name, which is Dolphin. Here, once again, you can see the brand. And if you look close, it says stainless steel, AUS 8 Italy. Now, the newest knife that I had, with the exception of some French or Italian knives, I was saying the newest knife that I had is at least 12 years old. I've stopped buying knives quite a few years back. So this one must be, I don't know, 15 years old. And I have used this knife. As you can see, there's some spots on the blade. But then I stopped using it for reasons that I will tell you in a second. Oh, on the back of the blade, it says model 432. And then it says Volpato design. And I guess that the name of the designer of this knife was Volpato, which is a surname quite popular in my area. You can see, maybe you can see that there are some scratches here on the blade. I don't know if they're visible. This is because I have sharpened the blade a couple of times, and I have also used the knife. Well, have a look at it. This is a small, beautiful little knife, and my hand is average in size. Not too big, not too small, but I can only fit maybe 2 fingers on the handle. So it's quite small for an average sized hand. And there's this raised part of the blade here, and there's also like a knurling here. So I don't know, maybe you are supposed to push cut like this, and this is in order for your thumb not to slip or something like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful little knife, which is not that useful in my opinion. But maybe you can tell me in the comments below, how would you use this knife? Look at the blade. I think this is a convex ground blade. It looks convex, not a hollow ground or a flat ground blade. Look at how thick the blade is here. The micrometer, trusty micrometer here says 2.7 mil. It's quite thick for such a small blade. I don't know how I would measure the blade length, but if I turn the knife upside down and if I measure it like this, it's 41.4 mil. I mean, it's, I don't know, what is it? 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches maybe. Let's see. Yeah, not even 1.75 inches. A bit more than 1.5 inches. For a whole length of, it's so small that we can measure it with the micrometer, a whole length of 103.6 mil, so 10 centimeters, 0.3, so I don't know, 4 inches and a hair, something like that. So this is a small knife with a very thick blade, like here the back of the blade is very thick. One hand opening, and you can see the thumb stud here. The locking system, it's a liner lock, and look how thick the liners are. These are made of steel. I don't think they're made of titanium, whereas the clip is, I'm almost sure it's made of titanium, even though it's not advertised anywhere on the knife. It also has these small spheres as, I don't know, barrel spacers, I think they're called. These scales are made of ebony, as I told you, and here you can see you have the torque screws. I don't know what number torque screws these are. You have your lanyard hole here, and the clip can only be mounted in this position, and the thumb stud can be replaced or tightened. I mean, this is such a cool little knife, but I don't find it all that useful. It's so cool to have around, but if you need to cut food, the blade is too thick. You're cutting carrots with this, you will split your carrots. Bread, it won't cut bread the right way. You cannot cut salami with this one, if you're familiar with the Italian salami, for example. Cheese, it's not good to cut cheese. You will do much better with the knife that I always carry with me. Just let me search in my pocket. You will do much better cutting food with this one. The blade length, oh look how dirty. The blade length of the Opinel, and you can find the Opinel in another video of the channel. I'll leave a link somewhere. It's longer, the blade of the Opinel is longer. It is much thinner, and in general, this one gets much more use. But how cool is this one? Let's have a look at the weight, just for fun. Trusty scale, in grams, put it on the scale, 65 grams. Thought it was heavier. A cool little knife from a cool little town. If you want to know more about this brand and about that town, you just drop me a comment. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any money. I just have a bunch of their knives at home. But also, I have a bunch of knives from other brands from the same town. This one is another one. And this one is the same model, only with a different wood. And I can tell you the story of these two and of many other knives. And you just drop me a comment, and I'll see you on the next of Wooden Knife You Don't Need, a division of Wooden. What you don't need. Ciao!